Hi, sweethearts. So one of the core principles of this course is going to be understanding that you and creativity are not separate. That means that you have to start embodying and start anchoring in the vocabulary, the actions, the feelings, and the emotions that you yourself are a creative life force. You are an expression of this life force. You and it are never separate. So the idea of a creative block, the idea of our inner resistance is not our true nature. And so in understanding and beginning to work from that level, will more and more and more cultivate this energy and this essence and this reality around you that you yourself are creativity. So that allows you to use your entire life as a masterpiece, to use your entire life as a canvas so that anything you do in this life actually becomes a part of this creative practice. It becomes a part of this greater whole. And how wonderful that actually is, right? That whether you're washing the dishes, you're making love, you're writing poetry, you're spending time on your art, it all becomes and feeds this life force energy, which is already within you, this creative life force. So we can immediately throw out the window this whole notion that you're not doing enough, you're not good enough, you're in the wrong place, you're at the wrong time, blah, 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 blah. Of course, we are suspending that belief and this idea that, of course, we need to devote ourselves to our creative practice. We need to make time for it. We have to take aligned actions in order to have tangible results. Like, let's be honest here. If you want to make a painting, but you never show up to paint, there's only so much that we can do here, right? But taking those small actions every day, even if it means 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 30 minutes or doing it once a week, it all accumulates into the production of the work of art, right? So embodying simultaneously this idea that I am creativity, I am inspiration, allows you to more consistently build a bridge over time that allows you to tap into this energy on a regular basis. That means you don't need to wait for magical circumstances for you to feel good, for you to feel this way or that way. But creativity actually becomes something that you can conjure up and that you can express through yourself, even if in a particular window of time you might not be feeling it. So it becomes an invocation and a way of living so that you can more easily fall into those states of creativity and of expression. It's like gaining momentum. If our only time that we're being creative is when we're trying to sit down to write, or when we're trying to paint, or when we're trying to infuse a little bit more creativity in our business, then we might run into some obstacles, right? Because there's such a pressure for our creativity to show up in that particular moment. And if I was creativity and if I was working in under, events and experiences and underneath those kind of conditions, I would probably not want to show up. I'd probably say, you know what, F you. Can I curse? This is my channel. Yes, I can curse. Fuck you, I would say probably. And so, yeah, finding that juiciness and that inspiration as a blueprint, as a core identity that we operate with and that we operate from, will make it so much easier to show up to your practice. This is what I keep talking about, this creation of the environment, this creation of the blueprint, this carving of the path of the artist that is happening over time. It's similar to meditation. If we show up to meditation one time, sure, we might get some benefits, but actually over time, 2-3 years, this is when we're finally seeing the depth of the practice, and the deeper we practice, the deeper we go. And it almost feels like this muscle that when we stop using it, it's not that it completely falls away, but for me specifically, I can feel the effect if I don't meditate. I can feel this effect of like, I feel disconnected from myself. I'm longing for this sense of peace and not to be on the run all the time. And simultaneously, it's this idea that we can access those states without having to sit down to the official practice, right? Because in stepping into the identity and the reality that we are co-creators of our existence, we are able to work with our inner system, with our energetics, not in a way, this is a very important point, not in a way that pushes anything down, that pushes anything away, that is a form of spiritual bypassing, or I can't be sad right now, I need to be creative. That's not how this works. It's more about, okay, this is the grounds that I am working on today. Today I am working with grief. Today there is rage in my system. Today I'm feeling a bit yucky. There's some disgust here. So as the muse, as the inspiration, as the alchemist, as the life force, creativity itself, I understand that these feelings, these expressions are a natural byproduct of this existence. So I'm not going to shame them. I'm not going to make them any other way than they need to be. And I'm going to be very precious with them. I'm going to learn to take this energy and to manipulate it, and I don't like that word actually, to mold it, to direct it, to shape it, to sculpt it into what it is that we desire. So anxiety and overwhelm, we can work with that energy and overflow. So how does this work? Our nervous system and our brain does not understand if something is happening as an illusion in our mind, if something has happened in the past, or if something is going to happen in the future. So when we continue ruminating on thoughts that don't serve us, on worry, on anxiety, on black thinking, we continuously perpetuate these states of mind and these states of awareness that make us notice those things more and more and more and more and more. Because our brain is our best friend, and it's trying to help us find exactly this thing that we are worried about. So it's helping us to find danger, to find worry, so that we know that we have to start getting prepared within our internal system for those experiences. But if we start operating from the spectrum that overflow is the same as overwhelm, whenever we start feeling overwhelmed, we can code in and we can realize that it's just a flip of the coin, right? That when we're feeling overwhelmed, it can be a gift. Because our system is feeling a lot. We have the privilege and the gift of our sensitivity that in this moment needs to expand to hold more of that which we desire. And overflow and states of abundance are all rooted and anchored in this state of I have so much all of the time. Good things are happening to me in abundance and overflow. They don't just happen sporadically. They don't just happen, here and there. I live in this state of abundance and overflow. Right? Take a deep breath with me. Let something go, and another one. Drop a little bit deeper into the body. Sink into your roots and into the fascia and minutia and the mycellular network of your body, rather than trying to catch everything I'm saying with the mind. The muse, the inspiration, the creativity, they live in the liminal state. They live in the threshold. They live as energy, as essence, as the imagined, before it is something that is brought into creation. Take a deep breath. Sink into that place in the middle. Sink into that essence in the center of every single cell that occupies your body, which is this aliveness, this growth, this reproduction, this natural overflow, this natural activity, this natural movement that circulates and takes actions. And even when we're in a passive state, our bodies are constantly in this hum of action and inspiration. We are always this breath and experience of expression and of life itself. And when we begin to act and operate from that state, that's when magic can unfold in our lives. That's when our brains can be our best friends and notice more of our connection to creativity, be more creative in our day-to-day lives, be more in tune with that energy, so that it doesn't become something that is separate from us that we need to conjure up. But it is our baseline. It is our way of living. It is the way of living an artful life. I am inspiration. I am creativity. I am life force energy. And be soft with yourself. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling lethargic or anything on that spectrum, that is also an expression of life force energy, because it is moving through you and it is showing you something about your life. It is showing you, it is pooling, it is gathering in a space. So maybe it's the mind, maybe you're getting a headache, maybe you're getting tired. So your energy is pooling in a certain part of the body, and it's trying to signify to you, I need a breath of fresh air here. I need a breath of inspiration. I need freshness. I need newness. I need some beauty. I need some nourishment. I need to resource myself, because I keep focusing my energy on my head. I keep focusing my energy on trying to act, and my body is craving something else. So everything is information. Everything can be divination, right? We're reading the field of our body and our environment, and everything is a byproduct of this life force energy. And the only thing that can get in the way is us repressing it or trying to make it a different thing. For example, I can't be sad. I need to be creative right now. I am tired. I'm going to go and force myself to be productive. There is spaces where this works. And this boils down to you understanding your own inner system and through trial and error. There is times where I know that going for a run or a walk will be my medicine in this moment. And there's other times where I know that if I push myself even more, I will go into shutdown because I'm overstimulated, and I might actually even go into burnout because I've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So actually the way is through surrender, through softening. And that can be a 5-minute practice. And by practice, I mean it can be a 5-minute moment where you close your eyes and you say to yourself, I allow myself to let go of everything that I've been holding. I allow myself to rest, and I'm going to take a nap here for 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be any spiritual, magical experience. But everything is leading you to become the master of your experience, to become the master of understanding the symbols, the language, and the communications between your body and this life force energy. Learning to read the field around you, your environment, what is happening, what symbols and what feedback you're receiving in everything around you, whether that's your relationship, whether that's your finances, whether that's your creativity, your pleasure, your body. It is all always communicating with us. And I always, always, always say this, everything is a relationship. So our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to creativity and our relationship to this inspiration will dictate and create this environment that we are sitting in, that we are being stewed in. We all know this experience of having a falling out with a friend, or having an argument with our partner, or something not going right with our business or with a project. And we see how it ripples out into our daily life. We all of a sudden become snappy or agitated, right? We don't have to. Our ability to respond moment to moment will allow us to dictate how we want to move forward. So this went all over the place. As always, the muse does what she wants. My muse loves going on tangents and creating new connections between things. That's how I know I'm nourishing my muse. And actually, that is a creative trait, to be able to connect and to be able to make new connections in the brain between experiences and events that we might not have been able to make before. Creativity sweeps through that and says, okay, we're very closely looking at this from this angle, but what if we go over here, take this new fresh perspective and apply it to this same problem? That's an aspect of creativity. So, all of that being said, your new blueprint and your new way of life starts with climatizing, embodying, and cultivating the environment of I am inspiration, I am creativity, I am life force, I am connected to that source, to that energy that moves everything always. It and I are never separate. This is a very yogic perspective. Union, inner connection, alignment, connection to the greater energies of the world, connection to the greater life force. And when we act from that place that we are always connected, we are always plugged in, we anchor in a new truth that begins to ripple out throughout our lives. Because the person that believes that they are creativity will always find a creative solution to the problem, compared to the person who is stuck on, I am not creative, I am not an artist, I am blocked, I am struggling, I am challenged. The inspired person might say, Wow, I'm really being tested right now. I know that I'm experiencing a period of creative winter that I know is essential to my nourishment because I know it's part of the natural cycles of life and death. That rings a lot differently than I will always be stuck, I will forever be stuck, I will never get out of this. And in times of doubt, in times when our skies are a little bit dull, when the clouds are coming over, when it's raining and it's getting heavy, we can hold that truth very gently in our consciousness, in our awareness. We can hold that in our being and say, I know my environment is saying something else right now. I know I can so easily reach for a different truth. But how is this moment an expression of the creative life force? How can I work with this energy? How can I be the muse, the sculptor, the alchemist? Because the creator does not complain about the material that is given to them. They just work, they just act because it's their natural instinct. It's the right best step. Let me know what sparked you from this conversation. I would love to know how this is landing for you. So let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, send them my way. If you have any constraints or blocks or anything like this, also send them my way. Let me know how you're feeling, what's going on, what's moving, what feels stuck, what feels like it's agitating, what inner critic or what inner part is standing up within you when I invite you to step more deeply into the role of the creator, the creatrix. All of that is welcome. All of that is part of this beautiful divine matrix of creativity that created you and this moment. So by stepping into that field of inspiration, we can take the threads that perhaps no longer serve us, meet them at the root, and take that energy and weave it into something new. Isn't that exciting that we can do that? We can literally reach into the fabric of our reality, of our existence, of our life, of ourselves, and become the architects of our new experience of our life. I think that's pretty cool. Take care of yourself.